Chosen ones, the biggest blessing of your life is about to drop. This isn't just another moment slipping through the sands of time. This is heaven's spotlight fixed on you, a divine gift wrapped in eternity's promise, ready to explode into your reality. Do you feel that stirring in your chest, that quickening pulse that's more than just a heartbeat? That's not anxiety, it's anticipation. Your spirit knows what your mind is still catching up to. The biggest blessing of your life isn't coming someday. It's here now, knocking with a ferocity that demands your attention. You didn't stumble across this message by chance. Heaven hunted you down, weaving through the noise of a distracted world to deliver this divine wake-up call. Before the clock ticks another second, I need you to hear this. The struggles that have scarred you, the nights you've cried in silence, the dreams you've buried under layers of doubt, they weren't punishment. They were preparation. Every tear, every closed door, every moment you felt forgotten was God forging you into the vessel strong enough to carry this monumental blessing. This video unveils a unique truth. Your deepest doubts are not barriers, but bridges to your greatest breakthroughs. So, chosen one, don't you dare scroll away. The next hour will rewrite the story of your life. Picture a vast golden field under a sky ablaze with stars, each one whispering your name as if it's been written in the constellations since the dawn of creation. That's the scene unfolding in the spiritual realm right now. Jeremiah 1:5 declares, "Before I formed you in the womb, I knew you. Before you were born, I set you apart." God didn't just know you, He designed you for this exact moment. Your life hasn't been a random sequence of chaos and pain. Every step, every stumble, every heartbreak was a deliberate stroke on the canvas of your destiny, painted by the hand of the Almighty. You've been asking, why me? Why the rejection? Why the delay? But heaven is shouting back, why not you? You weren't overlooked, chosen one. You were handpicked, refined in the fire of adversity to shine with a brilliance that can't be dimmed. The enemy tried to break you, but God was building you. The world saw your struggles, but heaven saw your strength. And now the biggest blessing of your life is poised to drop, not because you earned it, but because you endured it. Let's talk about those struggles for a moment. You know the ones I mean. The job that fell through when you needed it most. The relationship that shattered your heart into pieces you're still trying to gather. The dream you poured everything into, only to watch it slip away like sand through your fingers. Maybe you're sitting there right now, in a quiet room or a crowded one, feeling the weight of those moments pressing on your chest. You've wondered if God forgot your address, if your prayers got lost in the mail. I see you, chosen one. I see the nights you've lain awake staring at the ceiling, asking, when will my breakthrough come? But here's the truth that will shift everything. Your pain wasn't pointless, it was purposeful. Every closed door was God's protection, redirecting you to this moment. Every tear was watering the seeds of your divine purpose. Romans 8:28 promises, "And we know that in all things God works for the good of those who love Him, who have been called according to His purpose." Your struggles weren't the end of your story. They were the prologue to your greatest chapter. Think about Joseph, sold into slavery by his own brothers, locked in a prison for a crime he didn't commit. For 13 years, door after door slammed in his face. Did he give up? Did he decide God had abandoned him? No. Genesis 50:20 reveals his revelation. You intended to harm me, but God intended it for good to accomplish what is now being done, the saving of many lives. Every betrayal, every injustice, every dark night was shaping him into the man who would save nations. Or consider Sarah, who waited until she was 90 years old to hold her promised son, Isaac. The world laughed at her barrenness, but God saw her faith. Genesis 21:1 says, "The Lord was gracious to Sarah as he had said, and the Lord did for Sarah what he had promised." Her delay wasn't denial, it was divine timing. Your story is no different, chosen one. The battles you've fought, the losses you've mourned, they're not your defeat, rather your development. The biggest blessing of your life is about to drop because you've been shaped to carry its weight. Now, let's get real. You might be thinking, I've heard promises like this before. I've hoped, I've prayed, and I've still been disappointed. I understand that ache. Doubt is a cunning thief, whispering that it's safer to stay small, to protect your heart from another letdown. But doubt is a liar, and it's been stealing from you long enough. This moment is different, not because of who you are, but because of who God is. His promises don't expire, his plans don't fail. Isaiah 55:11 declares, "So is my word that goes out from my mouth. It will not return to me empty, but will accomplish what I desire and achieve the purpose for which I sent it." The blessing that's about to drop into your life isn't a maybe. It's a certainty, sealed in heaven's vault, waiting for you to claim it. But claiming it requires something from you. Faith that moves. Faith that dares to believe that your doubts don't get the final word. God does. Let me tell you about Maria, a single mother from Charlotte, North Carolina. 3 years ago, she was drowning in debt, working 2 jobs to keep food on the table for her 2 kids. She'd prayed for a breakthrough, but every door seemed locked. One night, exhausted and on the verge of giving up, she felt a nudge to write down one goal: to start a small catering business, something she'd dreamed of since she was a girl. She had no money, no connections, just a recipe for her grandmother's peach cobbler and a flicker of hope. She wrote that goal, took a leap, and started baking in a tiny apartment kitchen. Within 6 months, a local church hired her to cater an event. That led to more orders, then a food truck. And today, Maria's business employs 5 people and just signed a contract to supply desserts to a regional grocery chain. Her doubt told her to stay stuck, but her faith moved her forward. That's the kind of blessing waiting for you, chosen one. A divine gift that transforms not just your life, but the lives around you. This is your moment to act. I'm not asking you to feel ready or to have it all figured out. I'm asking you to move in faith, to take practical steps that align with the blessing God is preparing. Here are 3 specific actions you can take right now to position yourself for your divine breakthrough. First, write down one goal you've been delaying. It could be starting a business, pursuing a degree, or even something as simple as reading a book that inspires you. Put it on paper, make it real, and set a deadline for this week. Second, reach out to someone you've been meaning to connect with. Maybe a friend you've lost touch with, a family member you need to forgive, or a mentor who can guide you. Send that text or make that call today. Third, take one small step toward a project you've been putting off. If it's a book, write the first sentence. If it's a ministry, register the name. If it's a job, update your resume. These steps aren't just tasks. They're declarations to heaven that you're ready for your blessing. If your spirit is stirring right now, if you feel the weight of this moment, type, "I am claiming my blessing," in the comments below. Your declaration isn't just words. It's a signal to the spiritual realm that you're stepping into your divine purpose. Share this moment with others in the comments, because you're not alone. Thousands of chosen ones are reading this, feeling the same fire, ready to claim their breakthrough. Together, we're building a community of faith, a family bound by purpose, not just proximity. Your comment could be the spark someone else needs to take their first step. Let's keep moving forward. Picture a scroll unfurling in the courts of heaven, your name written in ink that glows with divine fire. That scroll isn't a wish list. It's a blueprint of your destiny, penned before the stars were hung. Revelation 3:8 says, "I know your deeds. See, I have placed before you an open door that no one can shut." That door is open now, chosen one. But it's not a door you walk through passively. It's a door you claim with boldness, with faith that drowns out the noise of doubt. The blessing behind it isn't just for you, it's for the generations that will follow, for the lives you'll touch, for the legacy you'll leave. But to step through, you must let go of the lies that have held you back. The lie that you're not enough. The lie that your past disqualifies you. The lie that someone else is more deserving. Those are chains forged by the enemy, and they're breaking today. Consider David, a shepherd boy overlooked by his own family, yet anointed as king. When he faced Goliath, he didn't have a crown or a sword, just a sling and a stone. But 1 Samuel 17:45 records his defiance. "You come against me with sword and spear and javelin, but I come against you in the name of the Lord Almighty." David's faith wasn't in his strength, it was in God's promise. Your blessing doesn't depend on your resources, your connections, or your perfection. It depends on your willingness to trust that God's plan for you is bigger than your fears. Maybe you're like David, standing before a giant debt, illness, broken relationships. Whatever it is, it's no match for the God who's already declared your victory. Now let's address the doubt that's creeping in. You might be thinking, this sounds too good to be true. What if I step out and fail? Failure is just a teacher in disguise, chosen one. Every misstep is a lesson. Every setback a setup for a comeback. Thomas Edison failed thousands of times before he invented the light bulb. But he didn't see those failures as defeat. He called them steps to success. Your faith journey is no different. Positive psychology tells us that resilience is built by taking action, even when the outcome isn't certain. Each step you take, even if it feels shaky, strengthens your spirit and aligns you with God's plan. The blessing that's about to drop isn't contingent on you being flawless. It's contingent on you being faithful. Let me share another story. James, a teacher from Seattle, felt stuck in a job that drained his soul. For years, he dreamed of starting a non-profit to mentor at-risk youth, but fear kept him paralyzed. What if I can't raise the funds? What if no one takes me seriously? He'd ask himself. One Sunday, after a sermon on faith, he decided to act. He wrote down his goal: launch the non-profit within 6 months. He called a friend who'd worked in fundraising, and he took one step: registering the organization's name. That small act snowballed. A local business donated seed money, volunteers stepped forward, and within a year, James's non-profit was mentoring dozens of kids, changing lives in ways he never imagined. His doubt said, wait. His faith said, move. Which voice are you listening to? Those 3 steps I gave you, writing a goal, reaching out, taking one project step, aren't just suggestions. They're keys to unlock the blessing that's hovering over your life. Don't overcomplicate it. You don't need a perfect plan or a cosmic sign. You need a heart that says, God, I trust you. Proverbs 3:5-6 instructs, trust in the Lord with all your heart and lean not on your own understanding. In all your ways submit to him, and he will make your paths straight. Your understanding might say, I'm not ready. God says, I've already prepared the way. The biggest blessing of your life is waiting for you to step forward, not because you're fearless, but because you're faithful. If this message is igniting something in your soul, join thousands of chosen souls by subscribing to Stay Connected to Your Divine Purpose. Hit that subscribe button and the notification bell to never miss a word of encouragement that could shift your destiny. You're not just a viewer. You're part of a movement, a remnant rising to claim what God has promised. Keep those comments coming with "I am claiming my blessing" to declare your faith and inspire others. Your voice matters, chosen one. It's echoing in heaven right now. Imagine standing at the edge of a cliff, the wind whipping through your hair, a vast canyon stretching before you. Across that canyon is a bridge, shimmering with light, leading to a land where every promise God made is fulfilled. That bridge is your faith, and it's stronger than it feels. You might see the chasm below, your fears, your doubts, your past, but the bridge was built by the one who spoke the world into existence. Hebrews 11:1 reminds us, "Now faith is confidence in what we hope for and assurance about what we do not see." You don't need to see every step to take the first one. You just need to trust the one who built the path. Let's talk about what this blessing might look like. It's not just money, though provision may come. It's not just healing, though restoration is part of it. It's not even just answered prayers, though you'll see those too. The biggest blessing of your life is the transformation of your identity. On this side of the bridge, you're surviving, questioning, doubting. On the other side, you're thriving, certain, unstoppable. You become the person God saw when He called you. A light in the darkness, a beacon of hope, a vessel of His power. This spiritual awakening isn't about changing your circumstances alone. It's about changing you. It's about stepping into the divine purpose that's been burning in your bones since you were born. But here's where the enemy tries to trip you up. He'll whisper, "You've waited too long. You're too broken. Someone else is more qualified." Those lies are as old as Eden, and they're just as powerless. Look at Moses, who stuttered and ran from his calling for 40 years. Exodus 4:10 records his doubt. "Pardon your servant, Lord. I have never been eloquent." Yet God used him to part the Red Sea. Your limitations don't limit God. They amplify His glory. Your past doesn't disqualify you, it authenticates you. Every scar is a story, every wound a witness to His faithfulness. The blessing that's about to drop will use every piece of your journey to create a masterpiece. Those 3 steps, writing a goal, reaching out, taking one project step, are your map across the bridge. Don't add to them or overthink them. They're simple because faith is simple. It's not about doing everything, it's about doing something. James 2:17 warns, "Faith by itself, if it is not accompanied by action, is dead." Your faith isn't dead, chosen one. It's waking up. It's stretching its limbs, ready to run toward the blessing that's already yours. Maybe your goal is to start a blog, sharing your testimony. Maybe your outreach is forgiving someone who hurt you. Maybe your project step is signing up for that course you've been eyeing. Whatever it is, do it now. Not tomorrow, not when you feel ready, now. If you're feeling the fire of this message, type "I am claiming my blessing" in the comments again. Let's flood the comments with declarations of faith, building a wall of courage that no doubt can penetrate. Your words are powerful. They're not just keystrokes, they're keys unlocking doors for others. Share this video with someone who needs to hear that their blessing is closer than they think. Your share could be their divine appointment, their moment to step into their own breakthrough. Picture a radiant door standing before you, your name carved in gold, glowing with the light of heaven. That door isn't locked. It's waiting for you to turn the handle. Behind it lies the biggest blessing of your life, not because it's the biggest thing you've ever wanted, but because it's the biggest thing God has planned. It's the moment your personal transformation becomes a testimony, your faith journey a legacy, your spiritual awakening a revival. But you don't walk through that door by wishing or waiting. You walk through by acting, by trusting, by claiming what's yours. let's address one final doubt. You might be thinking, what if this blessing isn't what I expect? What if it's not what I've been praying for? God's plans are always better than ours. Ephesians 3:20 promises, "Now to him who is able to do immeasurably more than all we ask or imagine, according to his power that is at work within us." Your imagination is vast, but God's vision is infinite. The blessing that's about to drop might not look like the picture in your head, but it will fit the purpose in your heart. It will align with the divine destiny He's been weaving through every moment of your life. You're not alone in this, chosen one. Right now, thousands of others are standing at their own radiant doors, feeling the same mix of awe and uncertainty. You're part of a remnant, a holy army rising not by might, but by faith. Your 3 steps, writing a goal, reaching out, taking one project step, are your battle plan. They're not just actions, they're weapons against doubt, fear, and delay. Keep them close, act on them today, and watch how God moves. The biggest blessing of your life is about to drop, not because you're perfect, but because you're chosen. Not because you're ready, but because you're willing. Heaven is watching, angels are cheering, and your destiny is calling. Step forward, chosen one. Your moment is now. Chosen one, as you stand before that radiant door, its golden glow reflecting the fire in your spirit, know this: the blessing on the other side isn't just a reward, it's a responsibility. You've been forged in the crucible of trials, not to bask in comfort, but to become a beacon for others lost in their own darkness. The biggest blessing of your life, the one that's about to drop, is more than a personal victory. It's a divine assignment, a mantle you're being called to wear with courage and humility. Picture a vast tapestry stretching across the heavens, each thread a life, each knot a moment of struggle or triumph. Your thread, vibrant and unique, is weaving into others' stories right now. The blessing you're about to claim will ripple outward, touching lives you may never meet, shifting destinies you may never. This is your spiritual awakening, chosen one, not just to rise, but to lift others as you climb. Let's pause and breathe in that truth. You've carried burdens that weren't yours alone. Generational pain, unspoken fears, the weight of dreams deferred. Maybe you felt like an outsider, even in rooms full of familiar faces, sensing a calling too big for your circumstances. That's because you were never meant to fit into the ordinary. Psalm 139 proclaims, "I praise you, because I am fearfully and wonderfully made. Your works are wonderful. I know that full well." You're not a mistake or an afterthought. You're a masterpiece, crafted with intention, designed to carry a blessing so profound it will echo through eternity. The doubts that have haunted you, those whispers of "I'm not enough" or "I've missed my chance," are nothing but shadows fleeing from the light of God's truth. The enemy has tried to dim your shine, but he's too late. The blessing is already in motion, descending like a meteor, ready to reshape your world. Think about Esther, a young orphan girl who could have stayed silent, hidden in the safety of the palace. But Esther 4:14 challenged her, "And who knows but that you have come to your royal position for such a time as this?" She wasn't born a queen. She became one by stepping into her moment. Her blessing wasn't just a crown, it was the salvation of her people. Your blessing is no less significant, chosen one. It might look like a new career that funds a community project, a healed relationship that restores a family, or a bold idea that sparks revival. Whatever form it takes, it's not just for you, it's through you. The world has tried to convince you that your life is small, but heaven declares it's seismic. Every step you take toward this blessing is a tremor that shakes the foundations of despair, paving the way for hope to rise. Now let's address the hesitation that might be creeping in. You're wondering, what if I'm not ready to carry this responsibility? What if the blessing is too big for me? That's not fear talking, it's humility. And God loves a humble heart. But humility doesn't mean hiding. It means trusting that the one who called you will equip you. Look at Gideon, threshing wheat in a winepress, hiding from his enemies. Judges 6:12 records the angel's greeting. "The Lord is with you, mighty warrior." Gideon didn't feel mighty, he was terrified. Yet God saw what he couldn't, and with a tiny army of 300, Gideon defeated a nation. Your readiness isn't measured by your confidence, it's measured by your surrender. The 3 steps you've already taken, writing your goal, reaching out to someone, starting that project, are your surrender in action. They're proof you're ready, not because you have it all figured out, but because you're trusting God to fill in the gaps. Let me share a story to ground this in reality. Rachel, a nurse from Atlanta, felt a pull to advocate for mental health in her community. For years she ignored it, thinking she needed a degree in psychology or a big platform to make a difference. But one day she wrote down her goal: host a free workshop for teens struggling with anxiety. She called a local youth center to offer her idea, and she took one step, creating a simple flyer. That workshop drew 20 kids, then 50, then 100. A non-profit noticed her work and funded a city-wide program. Today, Rachel's initiative has reached thousands, all because she acted on a nudge. Her blessing wasn't just a program, it was becoming a lifeline for others. Your blessing, chosen one, is waiting to do the same. Those 3 steps aren't just tasks, they're seeds, and the harvest is already sprouting. If this message is setting your heart ablaze, type "My blessing is my assignment" in the comments below. Let's fill the comments with declarations that echo in the spiritual realm, uniting us as a family of chosen ones, ready to carry our divine responsibilities. Your words could ignite courage in someone else, reminding them they're not alone in this faith journey. Share this video with a friend who needs to know their blessing is bigger than their fears. Your share is a spark that could light up someone's destiny. Imagine a river, its current swift and unstoppable, carving through mountains to reach the sea. That river is God's plan for your life, flowing with purpose, unstoppable by any obstacle. The doubts, the setbacks, the closed doors, they're just rocks in the stream, worn smooth by the force of His will. John 7:38 promises, "Whoever believes in me, as Scripture has said, rivers of living water will flow from within them." That river is flowing through you now, chosen one, carrying the blessing that's about to drop. It's not a trickle, it's a torrent ready to overflow into every area of your life. Your finances, your relationships, your health, your dreams. They're all about to be swept up in this divine current. But you don't just float in this river. You steer, you swim, you act. Those 3 steps are your oars, guiding you to the heart of your breakthrough. The enemy will try to pull you back to the shore, whispering that you're too old, too broken, or too late. But those lies are drowning in the roar of God's truth. Consider Abraham, called at 75 to father nations. Genesis 12:4 says, "So Abram went as the Lord had told him." He didn't argue about his age or his wife's barrenness. He went. Your age, your past, your limitations, they're not barriers, you're badges of resilience. Positive psychology teaches us that growth happens when we embrace challenges as opportunities. Your faith journey is your opportunity, chosen one. Every doubt you've faced has strengthened your spiritual muscles, preparing you to carry a blessing that's not just big, it's transformative. Let's talk about what this transformation looks like. It's not about becoming someone else. It's about becoming who you've always been in God's eyes. Picture a seed buried in dark soil, pressed down by the weight of the earth. It doesn't look like much, but inside, it holds the blueprint for a mighty oak. Your struggles have been that soil, pressing you, shaping you, but never destroying. The blessing that's about to drop is the sunlight breaking through, calling you to rise, to stretch, to grow into the fullness of your divine purpose. This personal transformation isn't just for you. It's for the world that's watching, waiting for your light to shine. Matthew 5:16 urges, "Let your light shine before others, that they may see your good deeds and glorify your Father in heaven." Your blessing is your light, chosen one, and it's about to blaze. You might be wondering, how do I know this is really my moment? The stirring in your spirit, the tears in your eyes, the fire in your bones, those are your confirmation. The enemy wants you to wait for a neon sign, but God speaks in whispers that resonate in your soul. Those 3 steps, writing your goal, reaching out, starting your project, are your response to that whisper. They're not about earning the blessing, they're about aligning with it. Every time you act, you're telling heaven, "I'm ready." Every time you trust, you're telling the enemy, "You've lost." Your breakthrough isn't a distant hope, it's a present reality, unfolding with every step you take. If your heart is pounding with the weight of this truth, type, "My blessing is my assignment," in the comments again. Let's build a chorus of faith that shakes the heavens, connecting us as a community of chosen ones, ready to transform the world. Your declaration is a lifeline to someone else, a reminder that they're called, chosen, and never alone. Keep those 3 steps close. Don't add to them. Don't doubt them. They're your bridge to the blessing that's already yours. The river is flowing, the door is open, and heaven is watching. Your biggest blessing is about to drop, chosen one. Step forward, claim it, and let it change everything. Chosen one, as you stand in the current of that divine river, its waters surging with the promise of your biggest blessing, feel the weight of this moment anchoring you to your purpose. The door before you, radiant with your name etched in gold, isn't just an entryway. It's a threshold to a legacy that will outlive you. The blessing that's about to drop isn't a fleeting gift to be unwrapped and set aside. It's a divine spark, a fire that will ignite your life and set ablaze the paths of those around you. Picture a lighthouse standing firm against a stormy sea, its beam cutting through the darkness to guide weary ships to safety. That's you, chosen one. Your struggles have built the tower, your faith has fueled the light, and the blessing now descending is the power to shine. This moment in your faith journey isn't about reaching a destination. It's about becoming a guide, a living testament to God's unbreakable promises. Let's lean into that image. The storms you've weathered, those moments when you felt the waves of doubt and despair would swallow you whole, weren't meant to drown you. They were carving out the strength to stand tall, to hold steady when others falter. Isaiah 43:2 declares, "When you pass through the waters, I will be with you, and when you pass through the rivers, they will not sweep over you." God didn't promise you'd avoid the waters. He promised you'd emerge stronger. Every time you chose to keep going, every time you prayed through the pain, every time you held on to hope when it felt foolish, you were being shaped into a lighthouse. The blessing that's about to drop is the moment your light becomes undeniable, not just to you, but to a world desperate for direction. You might be thinking, but I don't feel like a lighthouse. I feel more like a candle flickering in the wind. That's okay, chosen one. God doesn't need you to feel mighty. He needs you to trust His might. Remember the widow in 2 Kings 4. She had nothing but a small jar of oil and a mountain of debt. Yet when Elisha told her to gather empty jars and pour, her tiny resource multiplied to fill every vessel, paying her debts and securing her future. Her blessing didn't come from abundance, it came from obedience. Your 3 steps: writing your goal, reaching out to someone, taking one project step, are your jars. They may seem small, but they're vessels for God's overflow. You've already started pouring, and the blessing is already multiplying, ready to spill into every corner of your life. Let me tell you about Daniel, a carpenter from Boise, Idaho. At 45, he felt trapped in a cycle of missed opportunities. He'd always wanted to teach woodworking to kids in his community, but self-doubt kept him silent. "Who am I to teach? I'm not a professional," he'd say. One evening, inspired by a sermon on using your gifts, he wrote down his goal: start a free woodworking class. He called a local community center to propose the idea, and he took one step, buying a few basic tools to donate. That first class had 6 kids. Word spread, and soon Daniel was teaching dozens, giving teens a skill and a sense of pride. A local hardware store sponsored his program, and now he's planning a second location. His blessing wasn't just the classes. It was becoming a mentor, a light for kids who needed one. Your blessing, chosen one, is waiting to shine just as brightly. Now, let's silence the voice that's whispering, "But what if my light isn't enough?" That's the enemy trying to dim your glow before it can spread. Your light doesn't need to reach the whole world at once. It just needs to reach the next person. Positive psychology shows us that small acts of purpose, like helping one person or sharing one gift, create a ripple effect of joy and impact. Your faith journey is that ripple, chosen one. Those 3 steps you've taken aren't just for you, they're the first waves of a tide that will lift others. Maybe your goal is to start a podcast sharing your story. Maybe your outreach is encouraging a struggling co-worker. Maybe your project step is volunteering at a shelter. Whatever it is, it's enough, because God makes it enough. If this message is stirring your soul, type "My light is shining" in the comments below. Let's flood the comments with declarations of purpose, building a community of lighthouses whose beams pierce the darkness together. Your words could be the spark that helps someone else find their way. Share this video with someone who needs to know their light still matters. Someone who's been hiding their glow under layers of doubt. Your share is a beacon, guiding them to their own divine purpose. Imagine a vast desert, the sand stretching endlessly under a scorching sun. In the distance, an oasis shimmers, green, vibrant, alive. That oasis is your blessing, chosen one, a place of abundance in the midst of your wilderness. The desert you've walked through, those years of scarcity, loneliness, or confusion, wasn't your punishment, it was your pathway. Deuteronomy 8:2 reminds us, "Remember how the Lord your God led you all the way in the wilderness these 40 years to humble and test you in order to know what was in your heart. Your heart has been tested and it's proven faithful." The oasis is no mirage. It's real and it's closer than you think. Those 3 steps are your compass, guiding you straight to its edge. The enemy will try to convince you the desert is your destiny, that the oasis is for someone else. But that's a lie as old as the serpent in the garden. Look at Ruth, a widowed foreigner in a strange land, scraping by on gleaned barley. She could have believed her story ended with loss, but Ruth 2:10 shows her humility. "Why have I found such favor in your eyes that you notice me, a foreigner?" Her faithfulness led her to Boaz, to a family, to a legacy in the lineage of Christ. Your desert isn't your end, it's your beginning. The blessing that's about to drop will turn your scarcity into surplus, your isolation into connection. your questions into clarity. But it starts with trusting the steps you've already taken. You might be wondering, what makes this blessing different from the ones I've chased before? It's different because it's not about what you want. It's about what God has planned. His plans don't bend to your timeline, they unfold in His perfect timing. Ecclesiastes 3:11 says, "He has made everything beautiful in its time. He has also set eternity in the human heart." That eternity in your heart, that longing for something greater, is what's pulling you toward this blessing. It's not just a job, a relationship, or a dream fulfilled. It's a transformation that aligns you with the eternal. Your spiritual awakening is about seeing yourself as God sees you. Chosen, capable, called to change the world one step at a time. Those 3 steps, writing your goal, reaching out, taking one project step, are your anchor in this moment. Don't doubt their power because they feel small. A single match can start a wildfire, and your faith is that match. Maybe your goal is to save for a mission trip. Maybe your outreach is mentoring a young person. Maybe your project step is sketching the first design for a product you've envisioned. Each step is a seed planted in fertile soil, and the blessing is the harvest. You don't need to see the full crop to know it's coming. Just keep watering with faith. If your spirit is blazing with this truth, type "My light is shining" in the comments again. Let's keep building this community of chosen ones, each comment a flare in the night, signaling to others that they're not alone in their personal transformation. Your declaration could be the nudge someone needs to take their next step. The oasis is in sight, chosen one. The desert is behind you, and the blessing is ahead. Keep walking, keep trusting, keep shining. Your biggest blessing is about to drop, and it's going to change everything. Chosen one, as you stand on the edge of that oasis, its lush promise shimmering against the desert of your past, feel the ground beneath you shift. Not with uncertainty, but with the tremor of divine alignment. The blessing that's about to drop isn't just a gift to hold. It's a seed to plant, a vision to birth, a purpose to unleash. Picture a mighty tree, its roots plunging deep into the earth, its branches stretching toward the heavens, offering shade to the weary and fruit to the hungry. That tree is your destiny, chosen one, and the blessing now descending is the moment its roots take hold. Your faith journey has brought you here, not to rest in the shade, but to become the shelter others seek. The struggles that shaped you, the doubts you've overcome, they've tilled the soil of your soul, making it fertile for this divine planting. The biggest blessing of your life is about to drop, and it's not just for you, it's for the world that's waiting for your growth. Let's linger in that vision. The desert behind you wasn't a place of abandonment. It was a crucible where your resilience was forged. Every parched moment, every step through the sand, was God teaching you to thrive where others would wilt. Isaiah 58:11 promises, "The Lord will guide you always. He will satisfy your needs in a sun-scorched land and will strengthen your frame. You will be like a well-watered garden, like a spring whose waters never fail." Your needs, emotional, spiritual, physical, are about to be met in ways that defy the barrenness of your past. The blessing that's poised to drop is the water that will turn your dry places into gardens, your emptiness into abundance. But this abundance isn't for hoarding, it's for sharing, for nourishing those who've lost hope in their own deserts. You might be thinking, "I'm not sure I'm strong enough to be this tree to carry this purpose." That's the whisper of doubt trying to uproot you before you can grow. But doubt has no power over a heart anchored in God's truth. Consider Nehemiah, tasked with rebuilding Jerusalem's broken walls. He faced opposition, mockery, and threats, Yet Nehemiah 2:20 records his resolve. The God of heaven will give us success. He didn't have an army or endless resources, just a calling and a conviction. Your 3 steps: writing your goal, reaching out to someone, taking one project step, are your bricks, your tools for building the life God has planned. You've already laid the foundation, chosen one. The blessing is the strength to keep building, to rise higher than your doubts ever dream. Let me share a story to make this real. Lila, a librarian from Memphis, Tennessee, always felt a pull to write children's books that celebrated her community's history. For years, she dismissed it, thinking, "I'm no author. I don't have the time or the platform." But one quiet night, she wrote down her goal: publish one story by year's end. She reached out to a local writers group for feedback, and she took one step, drafting the first page. That page became a chapter, then a manuscript. A small press picked it up, and Lila's book is now in school libraries across her city, inspiring kids to embrace their heritage. Her blessing wasn't just a book. It was becoming a voice for her people. Your blessing, chosen one, is waiting to take root in the same way. Those 3 steps are your seeds, and the soil is ready. Now let's confront the fear that's tugging at you. The fear that this blessing might demand more than you can give. That's not fear, it's the growing pains of your destiny stretching you. God doesn't call you to comfort, He calls you to impact. Look at the disciples, ordinary men, fishermen, tax collectors, tasked with spreading the gospel to the world. John 16:33 records Jesus' words. "In this world you will have trouble, but take heart, I have overcome the world." They faced persecution, doubt, and death, yet their obedience changed history. Your trouble, your setbacks, your insecurities hasn't disqualified you, it's qualified you. Those 3 steps are your obedience in action, proof that you're ready to carry the weight of this blessing. Not because you're perfect, but because you're willing. If this message is setting your spirit ablaze, type "My roots are growing" in the comments below. Let's fill the comments with declarations of growth, uniting us as a forest of chosen ones, each tree standing tall for others to find refuge. Your words could be the encouragement someone needs to keep planting their own seeds. Share this video with someone who's stuck in their desert, someone who needs to know their oasis is closer than they think. Your share is a breeze carrying hope to parched hearts. Imagine a vast horizon, the sun rising in a blaze of gold and crimson, casting light on a path you couldn't see in the dark. That path is your divine purpose, and the blessing that's about to drop is the dawn breaking over your life. The shadows of your past, regret, shame, missed opportunities, are fading in this light. 2 Corinthians 5:17 declares, "Therefore, if anyone is in Christ, the new creation has come, the old has gone, the new is here." You're not defined by what was, chosen one. You're defined by what is and what will be. The blessing descending is your new beginning, a chance to walk a path paved with God's promises, not your past mistakes. The enemy will try to drag you back into the shadows, whispering that your past is too heavy, your mistakes too many. But those whispers are powerless against the roar of God's grace. Think of Peter, who denied Jesus 3 times, his heart breaking with each betrayal. Yet Luke 22:32 records Jesus' words, "But I have prayed for you, Simon, that your faith may not fail, and when you have turned back, strengthen your brother." Peter's failure wasn't his end, it was his education. Your past isn't a chain, it's a classroom. The blessing that's about to drop will use every lesson you've learned to build a future that glorifies God and inspires others. Those 3 steps are your first strides on this new path. each one a declaration that you're leaving the shadows behind. You might be wondering, how will I know when this blessing arrives? It won't always look like what you expect. A check in the mail, a sudden opportunity, a healed relationship. Sometimes it's a shift within you, a peace that steadies your heart, a clarity that guides your decisions, a courage that silences your fears. Positive psychology teaches us that transformation often begins with internal changes, new mindsets, renewed purpose, that pave the way for external breakthroughs. Your spiritual awakening is that internal shift. Chosen one, aligning your heart with God's vision. Those 3 steps, writing your goal, reaching out, taking one project step, are the spark igniting that shift, fanning it into a flame that will light your way. The blessing that's about to drop is more than a moment. It's a movement. It's the start of a chain reaction, where your obedience inspires others, your courage emboldens the timid, your faith revives the hopeless. Picture a single pebble dropped into a still lake, its ripples spreading far beyond the point of impact. That's your life, chosen one. Those 3 steps are your pebble, and the blessing is the ripple that will touch shores you'll never see. Maybe your goal is to start a support group for single parents. Maybe your outreach is sharing your testimony with a stranger. Maybe your project step is creating a budget to fund your dream. Each step is a ripple, carrying hope, healing, and transformation. If your heart is soaring with this vision, type "My roots are growing" in the comments again. Let's keep building this community of chosen ones, each comment a ripple in the lake of faith, connecting us to others who are stepping into their divine purpose. Your declaration could be the push someone needs to drop their own pebble. The dawn is breaking, chosen one. The path is clear, the shadows are gone, and the blessing is descending. Keep walking, keep trusting, keep growing. Your biggest blessing is about to drop, and it's going to set the world alight. Chosen one, as the dawn of your divine purpose breaks across the horizon, its golden light bathing your path in promise, feel the pulse of eternity quickening within you. The blessing that's about to drop isn't just a ripple in the lake of your life, it's a tidal wave, poised to reshape the shores of your destiny and flood the lives of those around you with hope. Picture a vast ocean, its depths holding treasures unseen, its waves carrying messages from the heart of creation. You are that ocean, chosen one, and the blessing now descending is the moment your depths are stirred, your treasures revealed, your waves sent forth to touch distant lands. Your faith journey has been the wind guiding you to this moment of divine upheaval. The struggles that tested you, the doubts that challenged you, they've only deepened your capacity to carry this blessing. The biggest blessing of your life is about to drop, and it's not just a gift. It's a global awakening with you at its center. Let's dive into that ocean for a moment. The currents of your life, those moments of turbulence, those seasons of stillness, weren't random. They were God's hand stirring the waters, preparing you to carry a blessing that's as vast as it is profound. Ezekiel 47:9 speaks of a river flowing from the temple, bringing life wherever it goes. Swarms of living creatures will live wherever the river flows, because the water flows there and makes the salt water fresh. Your life, chosen one, is that river, flowing from the temple of God's presence within you. The blessing that's about to drop is the fresh water, transforming the barren places of your world, your family, your community, your dreams, into thriving ecosystems of hope and purpose. Every trial you've faced has deepened your waters, making you a source of life for others. You might be thinking, I don't feel like an ocean. I feel more like a drop, too small to make a difference. That's the enemy's oldest trick, shrinking your vision to keep you from seeing your true scale. But God sees you as He created you, boundless, powerful, essential. Consider Jonah, who ran from his calling, thinking he could escape God's plan. Jonah 1:17 tells us, "Now the Lord provided a huge fish to swallow Jonah, and Jonah was in the belly of the fish 3 days and 3 nights. His rebellion didn't cancel his purpose, it redirected him. Your doubts, your hesitations, even your failures haven't disqualified you. They've refined you. Those 3 steps, writing your goal, reaching out to someone, taking one project step, are your surrender to the current, your agreement to flow where God leads. You've already begun, chosen one, and the blessing is surging to meet you." Let me share a story to anchor this truth. Marcus, a mechanic from Tulsa, Oklahoma, always felt a nudge to help veterans in his town. He'd served in the military himself, but thought, "I'm just a guy with a wrench. What can I do?" One day, after a sleepless night, he wrote down his goal: offer free car repairs to veterans for 1 month. He called a local VA center to spread the word, and he took one step, setting aside a weekend to start. That first weekend, he fixed 3 cars. The next, 10. Veterans shared his story, and soon donations poured in to cover parts. Marcus's garage is now a hub for veterans, offering not just repairs, but community, purpose, and healing. His blessing wasn't just a service, it was becoming a lifeline for those who'd served. Your blessing, chosen one, is waiting to flow just as powerfully. Those 3 steps are your current, carrying you to impact beyond your imagination. Now let's address the whisper that's trying to pull you under. The fear that this blessing might overwhelm you, that you're not deep enough to contain it. That's not fear, it's awe at the magnitude of God's plan. He doesn't call you to drown, He calls you to swim, to trust the strength He's built in you. Look at the feeding of the 5,000 in Matthew 14:19-20. Taking the 5 loaves and the 2 fish and looking up to heaven, Jesus gave thanks and broke the loaves. They all ate and were satisfied, and the disciples picked up 12 basketfuls of broken pieces that were left over. The disciples didn't have enough, but Jesus made their little into abundance. Your 3 steps are your loaves and fish, small in your eyes but limitless in God. You're not too small, chosen one. You're exactly the size God needs to work miracles. If this message is stirring the depths of your soul, type "My waves are rising" in the comments below. Let's flood the comments with declarations of power, uniting us as an ocean of chosen ones, each wave lifting others toward their divine purpose. Your words could be the current that pulls someone else into their blessing. Share this video with someone who's feeling like a drop, someone who needs to know they're an ocean in God's eyes. Your share is a wave, carrying hope to shores you'll never see. Imagine a great symphony, its notes rising and falling, each instrument playing a part in a masterpiece that moves the soul. That symphony is God's plan for your life, and the blessing that's about to drop is the crescendo, the moment every note converges to create something breathtaking. The discord of your past, those off-key moments of pain, loss, or doubt, wasn't a mistake. It was the tuning, the preparation for this harmonious climax. Philippians 1:6 assures us, being confident of this, that he who began a good work in you will carry it on to completion until the day of Christ Jesus. Your life is God's composition, chosen one, and the blessing descending is the moment your melody soars, resonating with the hearts of others. The enemy will try to drown out your song, whispering that your notes don't matter, that your story is too broken to be beautiful. But that's a lie silenced by the truth of God's grace. Think of Paul, once Saul, a persecutor of Christians. Acts 9:15 records God's words, This man is my chosen instrument to proclaim my name to the Gentiles and their kings and to the people of Israel. Paul's past didn't silence his purpose. It amplified your past, your struggles, your doubts. They're the minor chords that make your symphony unforgettable. Those 3 steps, writing your goal, reaching out, taking one project step, are your notes, played with courage, joining the orchestra of God's plan. You're already in tune, chosen one, and the blessing is the conductor's baton, raising your song to new heights. You might be wondering, what if my symphony isn't heard? What if my blessing goes unnoticed? It won't. God doesn't compose in secret, He performs for the world. Positive psychology tells us that purpose-driven actions, like sharing your gifts or helping others, create a sense of fulfillment that ripples outward. Your personal transformation is that ripple, chosen one, touching lives in ways you may never fully know. Maybe your goal is to start a blog about overcoming grief. Maybe your outreach is teaching a skill to a neighbor. Maybe your project step is organizing a fundraiser for a cause. Each step is a note, and the blessing is the harmony that makes it unforgettable. You don't need to see the audience to know they're listening. Just keep playing. Those 3 steps are your score, simple but profound. Don't doubt them because they feel small. A single note can pierce the silence, and your faith is that note. The blessing that's about to drop is the crescendo, but it's not the end of your song. It's the beginning of a new movement. Maybe your goal is to mentor a struggling student. Maybe your outreach is reconciling with a sibling. Maybe your project step is designing a logo for your dream business. Each step is a chord, resonating with God's purpose, building toward a symphony that will echo through generations. If your spirit is humming with this truth, type "My waves are rising" in the comments again. Let's keep building this community of chosen ones, each comment a note in the symphony of faith, harmonizing with others who are playing their part. Your declaration could be the melody someone needs to find their own rhythm. The crescendo is coming, chosen one. The ocean is stirring, the symphony is rising, and the blessing is descending. Keep flowing, keep playing, keep shining. Your biggest blessing is about to drop, and it's going to resound through eternity.